How you guys doing? This is Karake of Impactafrica.network. Yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with an entrepreneur, and he was relating to me about his experience with an investor, a rogue investor, here in Nairobi, and it was a pretty hair-raising experience for the entrepreneur, where an investor wanted to take full control of a significant percent of his future fundraising capital. So basically, this investor would come in, put a small amount of money because the entrepreneur was at a point where they needed the money, and in the term sheet, he basically was put a clause in there that he would take a significant, about 20% of all the future fundraising that that the entrepreneur would raise. You know, we here in Silicon Savanna, we're in a situation right now where the power struggle, the power dynamic between investors and entrepreneurs is still in favor of the investors. If you look at Silicon Valley right now, the power dynamic is in favor of the entrepreneur, which is how things should be. And if you are a rogue venture capitalist or investor, or just a bad actor from the investor side in Silicon Valley, you will not survive today. You know, organizations such as information just flows too readily, and entrepreneurs have choices and have options. They have optionality in Silicon Valley. In Silicon Savannah, the optionality is still not there. And the issue, as this entrepreneur related it to me, is that there's a lot of bad actors out here in terms of people who on the investor side. And this is terrible for the ecosystem. This is terrible for founders. Founders are the heartbeat of any ecosystem. And if investors are killing the heartbeat of the ecosystem, then even the investments are at risk. Until we are able to actually get to a position where the entrepreneur has optionality and is basically in power, we will never really achieve the full potential of this ecosystem, and there will be a lot of pain, there'll be a lot of mistakes, there'll be a lot of there's yet a lot of actually pain to be experienced in this ecosystem before things can right themselves and the entrepreneur can take their rightful place as a central actor in the ecosystem. So the message to you founders out there, two things. One, vet your investors. Not all money is good money. Actually, right now, I'll tell you, most of the money that you will touch will come with some draconian expectations and terms. So vet your investors. How do you vet your investors? Find out who else they've invested in and what the experience of those entrepreneurs are. Do some back channel investigation. Talk to other entrepreneurs who have taken capital from those investors. The other thing too is this investor was brought into the picture by an accelerator. Right? An accelerator is the one who introduces investor to this entrepreneur. So what is the job of an accelerator? Right? Everybody out here is just not doing their job well. Right? Accelerators, vet your investors, check their track record, keep them out of your networks if they prove to be bad actors. You know what, entrepreneurs, this is your life's work. To accelerators and to investors, you're just another data point. So it is up to you, entrepreneurs, to actually make sure that whoever you're working with, has a good track record and is a good actor and will will basically do the right thing as far as you're concerned. This is your life's work. To the accelerators and to the investors, you're just another data point. So be very, very, very careful who you let into your corner, who you give your time to. Make sure you're doing your homework in terms of your due diligence against these so-called investors and these accelerators, right? We have a long way to go in Silicon Savannah before this ship can be righted and before the right type of behavior can take effect as it has done in the more mature ecosystems. There's yet a lot of pain, there's a lot of mistakes that are going to be made, but I'll tell you this, entrepreneurs, do yourself a favor. Do your due diligence on your investors, on anybody you're talking to. If they are starting to talk about putting money into your company, look at their track record. That means talk to other entrepreneurs who they have put money into and what the experience of those entrepreneurs was with them.